Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, January 2nd of 2022. We are in 2022. Welcome to 2022. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and in our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. And we are getting closer and closer and closer, not just as each year rolls over, but as each day gets closer. We are getting closer and closer to living in the era of peace and unconditional love, and all that means. All that means for us. We're really, if you can feel it in the air, feel it in your skin, in your nervous system, in your energy field, however you feel or sense, that we're really getting closer and closer and closer. And it may seem that things are getting more chaotic on one level because there is a disruption in the patterns that run through the systems that have sustained us. There's a big disruption because we have to shake things up in order for the things that cannot resonate with the vibrations of peace and unconditional love. Those are going to have to shake out. And it's going to be a little messy. It's been a little messy. It's been very messy, honestly. And the one thing that you can say for certain is living with the quote unquote norm of the systems and the patterns that we've been in that have been violent and perpetuated so much violence on our world. It may be that it's been comfortable because it's, what we've lived in. It's been familiar. It's been the systems that sustain us. But it has been violent upon the earth and upon large populations and segments of the earth. So as we're transitioning more and more into this era of peace, that norm is getting shaken up so that the stuff that cannot live in peace, that does not resonate with peace and unconditional love, will shake out and we'll be free to soar and to live closer and closer to unity. Because as our vibrations and our frequencies increase, we're living closer and closer to the source, our source of all that is. And as we move closer and closer to that source, our vibrations are resonating at higher frequencies. We're living more and more in oneness. And I am so very excited to talk about our topic today because what we're talking about today is gender identity. And I'm so excited to be talking about this because this is a real shift in how we have held gender identity and gender roles. In the traditional, is it right, is it wrong? Or, well, it might be your thing, not my thing. It's really shifting. And I'm speaking to you, and so I'm going to ask for your patience and acceptance with this. I'm speaking to you as someone who has not walked this path personally, but I am so grateful for what I received in this download when this question came up. And if you're new, we've been going through a series from a book called The Answer is Love, Questions to Explore as we transition into an era of peace. It's an upcoming book. It's not published yet. I went to a writing retreat, way back near the beginning of 2021. And this book was downloaded, basically, and it came through as 37 questions and responses. And the name of the book will be The Answer is Love, Questions to Explore as we transition into an era of peace. We have gone through section 1 of the book, which was about sustainability and world peace. This section that we're moving into starting today is about gender identity, gender roles, family, parenting, and children. And our question for today, let me read it exactly, is what is unfolding with gender identities and sexual orientation? How can we understand, support, and guide our children with all that they are faced with? And I imagine the question came through me in this way because, as I said, I'm not someone who has walked this path personally. However, as someone who is close to children, I've heard the conversations that children are having around this, and I feel like, I don't know, it may just be where I've plugged in, but I feel like it's becoming more and more of a prominent conversation among children at younger ages. It used to be, maybe it just used to be that people hid it, but back before I moved back to Texas, it was about, at least 5 years ago, had to be at least that, I was walking with a friend and she was telling me her 12-year-old daughter was telling her at school that the kids are talking about gender identity and sexual orientation, and there were 19 different identities. And I still don't know what all 19 are. So I apologize for that, but the LGBTQI, we're familiar with those. But she said that there were way more than that there are 19. And I never did learn what they all are, but now that I'm here in Texas and I spend a lot of time with my great nieces and nephews, and I hear the conversations that they have at their schools around the same topics, gender identity and sexual orientation. And I spend a lot of time, I have a 10-year-old nephew and a 12-year-old niece, great nephew, great niece, and they talk a lot about gender identity and sexual orientation, and it's coming from the conversations that they hear at school, and it's raising questions in them. So it's really been on my heart about how to support them and how to guide them and how to help them, especially age appropriate, what is age appropriate to help them to explore who they are and really feel free to be who they are and love who they love and be true to themselves no matter what, to navigate all the questions that come up in life. And we want to do this in any topic, any area of life. And this one seems to be one, I'll say in the download in the book, this is the one that gave me the greatest transformation as someone who has not walked this. And I was really excited. I've been really excited about the response that came through. So I'm really excited to share it with you today. And I'm glad that you're here. I thank you for being here. And if you're listening to the recording, I thank you for listening to the recording. And I hope that if you find this enlightening and exciting as I did, I hope that you will share it. Okay, so let's come into our meditation and healing circle. Let's come together sitting shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, sitting side by side. And let's bring all of our senses to face toward the center of the circle. Bring your eyes, your ears, your mouth, your nose, and your attention, your focus. Bring everything to face toward the center of our circle. And as you take a deep breath, as you exhale, bring your heart center, that funnel of energy that extends from the front of your heart space. Let's bring that to the front of the circle, to the center of the circle. And again, take a full and gentle breath. And as you exhale, just drop down and land into your pelvic bowl, land into your belly, land into your hips. Feel your presence in the seat beneath you. And just bring what's called your hara, it's the ball of energy at the front of your belly space. Bring that to face into the center of the circle as well. And we bring all of ourselves to be present. And together from our hearts, let's call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. I call on you, ask you to send your vibration of your pure, divine light. And just sense this pure, divine light streaming into the center of our circle. And as this light streams into the circle, just let all of your senses be met with this light. Your sense of sight, your sense of hearing, your sense of smell, your sense of taste, your sense of feel. Let this light travel in through your eyes, cleansing and purifying all of the stuck energies and belief patterns and pictures from the eyes. Again, if you're new, I took a class with a holistic eye doctor at one point, and he said that, oh no, I'm forgetting the number, but it's somewhere in the range of 95 to 96% of our ability to see clearly comes from the pictures and the energies and the energetic patternings and emotional issues that we carry in the pathways of our sensory organs and the sensory organs and the neurological pathways. The physical is only like, I'll say 5%ish, right? Somewhere around there. Very small percentage actually comes from the physical. So let this light go through and cleanse and purify whatever may be held in the pathways through your eyes and the neurological pathways that travel and carry the information to your brain. Let that light travel that pathway and cleanse and purify any of the obstructions that keep you from seeing clearly from what is in the moment in front of you. As our world is greatly transforming, it's very important that we let go of all the old pictures and the patterning that influences how we see, how we hear, how we perceive what we smell and taste. All of this is shifting. And yes, very much our food system is shifting. That has to shift. That's one of the main things if we're going to survive climate change, that has to shift. Our ability to eat foods from the earth, clean, plain, simple, that has to come into its fullness. So, of course, as this light comes in, let it stream through your eyes, through your ears, so you can hear clearly what is for you in the moment, not through the filters of what happened in the past. Let the light travel through and cleanse and purify the pathways of your hearing. Let it cleanse the pathways of your smell and your taste and your feel, the texture, and also let it travel through the pores of your skin. Let it cleanse and purify the patterning and the conditioning of your nervous system so that you can release the reactiveness from the past and rest into the current moment, the present day. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, let's call together on our source. We call on you, we ask you to send your essence of your unconditional love and feel yourself as this unconditional love streams in front of you and fills all of the space in front of you and all around you. And let your heart center be like a breathing portal. You have that funnel of energy that extends from the front of your heart space. You can let it tip up slightly and receive this downpour of this gentle, pure divine light and unconditional love. Let it stream into your heart center and let it stream all the way through into the core of your body, filling the core of your body with pure divine light and unconditional love, letting it stream in. And with your breath, breathe in through your heart center, and as you inhale, just let that pure divine light and unconditional love stream through your heart center. And as you exhale, Just let yourself release any of the blocks or barriers or tension, constriction from your heart center, and let that pure divine light and unconditional love travel all the way through your heart center, all the way into the depths of the core of your body. And let it stream all the way through your heart center and fill the core of your body with pure divine light and unconditional love. As the poet Rumi says, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. And as you seek and find those barriers, release those barriers. Let them be found by this vibration of pure divine light and unconditional love, and let them be cleansed and purified. Let them be washed from your heart center so that your heart, the greatest sensory perception organ in your body, your heart center, so that that center can perceive the truth of the present moment. Breathe this pure divine light and unconditional love. Breathe it all the way into the core of your body. And as you exhale, let yourself drop down and land into your pelvic bowl. Drop into your pelvic bowl. Feel your presence and bring your belly to face into the center of the circle. Invite your belly to be present and receive. And together let's call on our source. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your vibration of eternal compassion. Compassion is the bridge between the worlds that takes us out of our separateness and brings us back to oneness. Compassion is a beautiful, beautiful bridge. Brings us out of our separation and back to oneness. It also is the womb through which all life travels, from God consciousness into this world of 3D manifestation. Compassion is that which contains all of existence. It is the ocean, it is the womb that contains all of our existence. So let yourself drop into this ocean of compassion. Feel yourself held, feel yourself loved, feel yourself accepted 200% completely. Let this compassion and love surround you and fill you and nourish and nurture your heart. And cleanse and purify you of all of the old patterns that keep you stuck in past, so you can prepare for this transition into this new era of peace. And continue to breathe in that vibration of pure divine light and unconditional love and eternal compassion, letting it travel through your heart center and cleanse and purify your heart center, letting it travel through all of your senses and even through your skin, and settle your nervous system into this ocean of pure compassion. Let yourself be held. I'm going to read now the question and response for today from The Answer is Love, Questions to Explore as we transition into an era of peace. And I invite you to listen with the ear of your heart. Let your heart be the listener. The question, what is unfolding with gender identities and sexual orientation? How can we understand, support, and guide our children with all they are faced with? The response. And again, in case you're new, I don't claim to speak for God. I only wrote what came through as it came through, and this has not been edited. I created man and woman, but I have no gender. God, I'm inserting this, God has no gender. The soul is gender fluid. Humanity is being called to live closer to me, to be ushered into a new era of oneness and unity. There is fluidity here. The children are leading the way, but they must understand about love, the body, and sex. They must understand how to be with the signals of their bodies and how to be with themselves. They must be strong to know themselves and to honor their sacredness, to expect, respect, and hold high the sacred role of sex, and to honor what I have created in the soul's embodied experience. I want to pause for a moment and just reiterate. God has no gender. The soul is gender fluid. Humanity is being called to live closer to that vibration of oneness, to unity, as we usher in this era of peace and unconditional love, of oneness and unity. There is fluidity in that space. For forever, as far as I know, there have been some who have felt, a lot of people who have felt like they didn't fit in our binary world, where it was either this or that. There have been a lot of people who felt like they didn't fit with the male-female roles, with the male-female identities. And I want to acknowledge, because this is talking about sex and sacredness, it's not just about the act of sex and sexual union. That is a part of it. It is a part of it in relationship. It is also about being. Whatever body you're in, whatever gender you are born with, as we are transitioning into this era of peace and unconditional love, there is more fluidity and less identity that is associated with the physical. So we come in with physical bodies. In our world that we have lived in, there has been an incredible amount of definition placed on, an identity placed on the gender and the body. As we're moving into this new era, there is less association between the spirit, your soul, and the body that you're in. We're letting go of identities. Your vibration is your vibration, and how you identify as a being will not have to fit into a box. I mentioned in the email, and at this point I don't remember if I already said this, years ago I was walking with a friend, and she was telling me of her 12-year-old daughter, that her daughter was telling her there are 19 different identities. I don't know what they all are, but she said there were 19 different identities that the kids at school were talking about. And we tend, in the era that we're in, to want to identify, to label, so that we can make sense of. And it's a part of our conditioning here. It's a part of the world that we have lived in and that we have subsisted in. It's part of the soup that we swim in. We want to label things. We want to identify things. The labels and the identities are going away as we become more and more fluid. And we become more and more fluid as we transition into this era of peace. So the children now who are exploring in ways that us older folks might not have explored at the time, I know a lot of people did. So I don't mean to say that this is all a new thing, but the way that it is becoming more and more of a prominent conversation, and children are exploring and questioning and they're bringing to us older people a new way of looking at things and viewing things and holding things. It's a sign that they're being brought onto this earth to give us a message for us to be able to let go of our binary thinking. And I don't care what you identify with, you have lived in a world where binary thinking was the norm. And it had to be either this or that. So whether you felt like you fit and you didn't question, or whether you didn't fit and you questioned, that's the soup you have been swimming in. That is changing. It is changing to become less about the identity and the label and more about fluidity and love. And in that space, having said that, let me go back to the reading. And this says about the children, they must understand how to be with the signals of their bodies and how to be with themselves. That's not talking just about the signals of their sexual attraction. It's talking about the signals of how we relate. Our bodies give us information about how we relate to the world around us and what we're aligned with and what we don't align with. Our bodies are our vehicles, our vessels, and they have dashboards that are made up of the nervous system and all the sensory perceptions and everything, all of the ways, hormonal responses and everything give us information about how our inner spirit selves are relating with the outer material realm. And all of this is shifting. All of this is shifting. So as you're listening to this, notice how your body is responding. Notice what might be coming up for you, and continue to breathe in that vibration of pure divine light, unconditional love, eternal compassion. Let it move through your system. Let it cleanse and purify any of the old patterning and open you to be present with the moment and receive whatever information is here for you. They must understand how to be with the signals of their bodies and how to be with themselves. They must be strong to know themselves and to honor their sacredness, to expect respect and hold high the sacred role of sex, and to honor what I have created in the soul's embodied experience. This is for every human being, man, woman, child, whatever identity you choose or do not choose. I invite us all to let go of our identities and just be with the experience, because that message is for everyone. Back to the reading. In communion, sexual union is a sacred experience, not to be entered into lightly. Only with one who knows love and knows themselves and sees the love and light in you. In communion, sexual union is a sacred experience, not to be entered into lightly, only with one who knows love and knows themselves and sees the love and light in you. Procreation happens as it will. There are many children awaiting adoption in need of safe homes and loving families. There will still be plenty of children born into the world to propagate the species. And there are more who need love. Families can be created from two who love each other, taking care of children who need love. Love is the glue that binds a family. Attraction draws people together. Love binds. Attraction draws us together. Love binds. Well, breaking from the reading again, as we see this as we've just gone through 2 years of COVID now, we've seen a number of children orphaned. And the wars that are going on around the world, children are being orphaned. There are so many children in need. There used to be a conversation, I remember many people talking about what's going to happen with propagation of the species. If there are too many people who are in same-sex relationships, that actually used to be a concern. It's not an issue. There will be plenty of people who will still come together and propagate the species. Meanwhile, we have people who love each other, who can form beautiful families together, who have the ability to take care of children in need, and we have many children in need. We need to let go of our concerns about propagation of the species and what makes a proper family according to old pictures. We need to let go of all of that and know that people coming together who love and care about each other can form a family and help the many, many children in need. We don't need to be concerned about propagating the species. We need to be more concerned about caring for the people who are on this planet who need love, who need loving families and safety and food and to be cared for and nurtured in their homes. Back to the reading. Families can be created from two who love each other, taking care of children who need love. Love is the glue that binds a family. Attraction draws people together. Love binds. Teach your children the truth of their existence, their sacred essence. Teach them to be good humans, honest, sincere, kind, with integrity, caring, and love. Teach them to know themselves and to see my face in themselves and in all others. Teach them to see the face of oneness, the face of one spirit, one source, the face of God, the face of light, the face of love, the face of compassion in themselves and in all others. And that's a good one for all of us as well. This is really for all of us. Teach them to listen through the ear of their heart. Instill in them that they are valuable and worthy of love, honor, and respect. Teach them to safeguard their bodies and their hearts. Teach them to hold themselves in the container of love and to be a container of love. Love is love. Love is love with no conditions. Human beings are the ones that saddle love with conditions. But in the reality, love is love and there are no conditions on love. So let's take a moment with that. Breathe in this vibration of pure divine light, unconditional love, eternal compassion. Let the words from this response, let it come in. This is, it comes in a response of how to teach the children, but it is for everyone. It's how to teach ourselves as well. How to know love. How to live in unconditional love. How to live in acceptance and compassion and peace. How to be in oneness, in unity, connected and respecting the oneness in the all that is. So take a moment and just notice, and I want to invite you, let's call out any of those places inside of yourself in your heart, in your energy body, in your mental body, in your psyche, in your energy field. Any of those places that are carrying old pictures and beliefs that say it's not okay to have a non-binary identity, that it's not okay to have an identity that doesn't fit with your physical body, that it's not okay to love someone in any way, that you choose to love them from the pure love of your heart. And let's call out any of those pictures and just offer them. You can imagine them coming right in front of you, or offer them into this divine light in the center of our circle. And again, we call on our source. We ask for help from our source, from the prophets, from the angels, from the guides, from the teachers, from the healers, from the helpers, from all who are here to support our journey of healing and wholeness on this planet Earth. And let's ask for their help to release from our bodies, from our minds, from our hearts, from our souls, from our intellect. Just ask them to release any of those from us and to cleanse and purify these energies that do not fit in this era of peace that we are transitioning into. And let any of the old patterning, the old templates, just let them go. And as they're releasing from your body, just breathe in this pure divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. Breathe that in. And as you exhale, let everything else go. There is a divine name that is coming to me to recite as we let this release. The name, it's actually two names in succession. Al-Haq Al-Mubin. Al is just means the. Haq, H-A-Q-Q. It's like a K sound that's a little bit further back in the throat. Haq. Haq means truth. Al-Mubin, it's M-U-B as in boy, E-E-N as in Nancy. Mubin. Mubin means clear or clarity. So Al-Haq Al-Mubin is clear truth. So just calling on the divine names, Al-Haq Al-Mubin, the clear truth. And let these vibrations flow through our circle, clearing up. Let it flow through our circle, clearing up the pathways, clearing out the old energies, the old belief systems, the old templates and patterning, the old identities and associations, clearing all of that out and allowing us to land in the clear truth. And know that when you were formed, when your spirit was integrated, blown into your physical body and integrated in with your physical self, your spirit contains everything you need to know, and that is your core life force energy that gives life force to your physical body, that gives consciousness to your mental body, that gives the senses and emotions and connections to your heart. That is that life force from your source, the breath of source, that is breathed into your physical form, giving you your existence here. That life force contains the knowing of everything that you need to know and all of the meanings of everything in creation, everything that you need in order to travel this journey. So as these old templates are cleansed and purified and released from your system, And from your body, from your bodies, from all of the layers of your being, as that's released, call forth the knowing from within you to come forward and occupy the space, the physical space, the energetic space, the mental space, the emotional space. All of that, let that be called forward to take up the space, take up residence in your physical self. We call on again Al-Haq Al-Mubin. You can use that as a mantra and let that wash through your system, cleansing and purifying and calling forth the pure truth, the clear truth from within you. Al-Haq Al-Mubin, and calling on Source to let that vibration, the energy of the clear truth wash through your field and merge with the clear truth from within you. Al-Haq Al-Mubin, cleansing from the outer and calling forth the clear truth from the inner. Al-Haq Al-Mubin, 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 Al-Haq Al-Mubin. And let this vibration of the cleansing, purifying truth, the clear truth, as it washes through your field, let it touch into that inner knowing inside of you. And the inner knowing inside of you, just imagine this like a tuning fork. As this vibration moves through your field from the outer, it is waking up the inner knowing, and that is also resonating, just like if you tap a tuning fork and you put it next to another tuning fork, the other tuning fork will also begin to resonate, and you've got sounds coming from both tuning forks. So as you call on Al-Haq Al-Mubin and it resonates through your field on the outer, let it awaken and enliven the tuning fork at your core, the core of your body, and feel it inside at the core of your heart and the vertical core of your body, resonating. Let that vibration awaken and begin to resonate from within you until the resonance from the inside of you is vibrating in harmony with the Al-Haq Al-Mubin, Haq Al-Mubin from the outer. And there is one vibration, one resonant frequency vibrating with the clear truth and washing out anything other than the clear truth. Al-Haq Al-Mubin. And invite your mind in this to just be a witness, to witness what clears, what moves, what awakens. Witness any ahas that come forward. You can even make an intention. Please awaken me to any knowing that you have. It's called directly on source and ask personally, directly from your source, to be open to any information that wants to come through for you, that your source wants to give you and awaken you to, and invite your mind to just be a witness. Let your mind be like the child that doesn't know and is here to learn. And truly we are all children in the grand scheme of things. Al-Haq Al-Mubin. Al-Haq Al-Mubin, Al-Haq Al-Mubin, Al-Haq Al-Mubin. Let this resonate all the way through and into your core. Al-Haq Al-Mubin, 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 Al-Haq Al-Mubin. Let that wash through and cleanse. Take full breaths and let the energy move through you. Let it flow. Let it move and flow through you. Let it transform your energy body. Let it transform your heart. Let it transform your mental body. Let it transform you all the way through. Let it wash, let it cleanse, let it purify, and let it open you to the new way of being that you are called to be, free of the constrictions, free of the questions, open to align with truth, to flow in the fluidity of the ocean of eternal compassion. And again, I want to call one more time on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. I ask you to cleanse from us, to release from us anything that is remaining, that is ready to release. And as you are the true healer, you are the all-knowing, the all-wise. Ask you to send to us whatever it is that you would have for us, that you want to give to us to help us in this transition into this era of peace. And I invite you to, as that streams around you and into your heart, breathe it all the way into the core of your body. As you inhale it all the way in to the core of your body. And as you exhale, just let yourself drop down and land into your pelvic bowl, into your hips, and feel your presence in your hips and in your belly. Feel yourself anchored into your center of gravity, that space that is just beneath your belly button, the lower dantian point. If you're familiar with that term, it's about 4 fingers width beneath your belly button, that center point there, and follow that all the way into the center of your body, halfway front to back, halfway side to side, into that point. Feel your presence there. And as you inhale all of this light, love, compassion, the clear truth, inhale those vibrations all the way into your core. And as you exhale, let those vibrations run through your vertical core, that energy that flows through the top of your head, all the way down your body along the front of your spine, and let it anchor into your pelvic bowl, into that center of gravity space, and let that be at your strong, your place of strength in your body. You can anchor into, and let these vibrations of light and love and compassion and clear truth anchor into that inner strength inside of you. So you can be The change we all wish to see in the world, be the change that you wish to see. And let that connection that flows along your vertical core anchor in you. So it's moving through your heart, it's moving through your mind, and it's anchored in your hips, in your belly. Be, kun, as we say, be, kun. The word be in Arabic is kun, and according to the sound codes, breaking down the sacred sound codes, the k, the K sound is the hidden, the nun, the N sound is the manifest. The word be means the hidden embodied in the manifest, and the manifest which embodies the hidden. Kun. And when God created the creation and said be, this is putting the hidden in the manifest and the manifest which embodies the hidden. Just bring that into your belly, into that center space, and be. Be the change you wish to see in the world, on the inner, on the outer, on the hidden, on the manifest. And let it land. I'll close us out with a quote from Mother Teresa. It says, "The greatest disease in the West today is not TB or leprosy. It is being unwanted, unloved, and uncared for. We can cure physical diseases with medicine, but the only cure for loneliness, despair, and hopelessness is love." As we transition into this era of peace, God willing, we resonate in the higher realms with unconditional love and peace and acceptance and compassion. We find the cures. We find the cures for everything that has separated us from each other and from ourselves, and we live as one. With that, I'm going to end the recording and open for the Q&A. Please stay on. If you're here, stay on. If you have any comments or any ahas or anything that you would like to share, I'd love to hear from you. If you're listening to the recording, you're welcome to join us live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. Find information for joining us live at communityforconsciousliving.com. While you're there, be sure to sign up and you can receive reminders to join us live as well as replays. And while you're there, when you sign up, you'll get a copy of the 10 Spiritual Principles of Our Human Existence. It's a one sheet that reminds you of the truth of who you are, what this life is about, what this world is about, and why we're here. And it comes with a 15-minute downloadable guided meditation that you can use as a part of your daily practice to help you to anchor in that divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion into the core of your being so that you can be the light, the love, the compassion, the peace, the unity, carrying, lifting your vibration and preparing to live in oneness with the all that is. As we make this transition, we prepare now. All right, and with that, I thank you for being here. I hope to see you next week. Thank you very much.